about Overdrive.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, hi, I'm Mrs. Favari. If you haven't met me yet, I'm your librarian. I will be your librarian until you graduate. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to find a book when, taking out a physical book is really not something that is easy to do because thanks COVID. So I'm going to, let's see if it lets me. Yes.
If you don't,
I want to share that one.
right in the cafeteria.
So the screen I'm sharing with you guys, hang on. It's showing you the high school library page, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the page that anytime you want anything to do with the library, whether it's for finding a good book or it's for doing research for a class or anything like that, this is the web page you want to go to. And the address for that page is guides.rylankschools.org/Lincoln Lions.
Is there an easier way to get to it too on the home screen for the Lincoln High School page?
If you go to the Lincoln High School webpage, I'm under one of the drop-down menus.
Okay, so it's under library on the Lincoln High School page.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. LaHoo does have me there, but there is a direct link. I also have bookmarks that have a QR code that goes right to it.
And for the purpose of this video, I'll put this on our YouTube playlist and I will put the link to the website at the bottom if that's okay with you, Mrs. Favari.
Absolutely.
Great.
So anytime you're doing anything library, you want to start on this page. To find a book in Overdrive, which is what we're talking about today, you're going to scroll down just a bit to where it says good books, and it's actually the very first link. Overdrive ebook collection Sora. There is a very short little video there. So if you forget what I'm going through today, there is a short little video there on how to sign into Sora and how to look for a book. So when you sign in, I'm actually going to log out real quick because I'm already logged in. All right. And I'm going to start over. So when you click that link, it's going to ask you to sign into your school. And when you look at all the different schools, we are Lincoln Senior High School. Once you do that, your login is your student ID number. So whatever number you would normally use for lunch is what you use. I'm going to put in mine.
Okay, so this is what you see once you log in with your lunch code. Okay, or your student ID. All right.
Right.
One and the same.
Yes. So there's a couple of things that are there already. There's collections, and collections are things like there's diverse reads, there's audiobooks, there's things that are available right now, there's mysteries, My Heart is a Flutter, romance, there's new books, there's the Rhode Island High School Book Award nominees and middle grades. Or if you have a specific book you want to look for, there's a search bar right up on top where you can search for a book just by the title or the author. So someone had sent me a title earlier today. So I'm going to search for it. And there aren't any in our Overdrive collection. One of the other titles I think was in, so let me look at that one. So one of the nice things here is you can add collections. So if you have a library card at the public library already, you can, if I'm searching for a book and I have it search all my libraries, it's available both in audiobook and ebook. The audiobook is currently out, so I could put a hold on it, but the ebook is available at the public library. So you can search both at the same time.
So how do we know? Can you click on one that's available in our library from one of those collections maybe?
Sure.
So if they
let's
got
do-
one from the public library, could they still read it on their Chromebook?
They can still read it on their Chromebook. They can read it on their phone. They can read it on any device that they have.
But they would have to input their code, their library card code, correct?
Right, to use the public library.
Okay.
So let's see, for stuff that's available, we'll just go to regular young adult fiction. That one's out.
How about Catching Fire?
All right, so Catching Fire. If you click on just the book, it'll give you a summary. It'll tell you that it's in a series and this is book 2. So if you didn't read book 1, you might want to go back and click on book 1. But if you already read book 1 and you want book 2, you can click borrow and it'll come right up in your browser. And on a Chromebook, you can just use the right arrow key to advance your pages.
And Mrs. Vivari, is there like a bookmark?
It will, if you close out of this, because you're logged in with your account, the next time you open Sora and you go to your book, it starts you off at the page you left off on.
Okay. So to get back to their book, if they wanted to pick up tomorrow, where could they find this book?
So if they go back, anytime they're in Sora, the book they're currently reading is at the very bottom of the page in that little bubble.
Okay.
And if you click on the bubble, it opens back up and it starts where you left off.
Could you have more than one book out?
You can. So let's see what happens when that, because I haven't done more than one book out at a time yet. So let me go back home. Oh, I do have a second book out. So if I want to go back to the other book I'm reading, I can. Okay, did you see what I did? On the home page. Heck. When I clicked on home, it tells me that I have 2 books out. I can click on either one of them and I can open the book. And again, it'll take me back to where I left off, which I had just started it.
Is this something they could have in Clever, or we always go back to the library site to get on it?
We are not in Clever. We don't have the single sign-on, so
Okay.
it has to be through the library page.
Okay. I can link our library page onto Classroom. And then this way it should be easily accessible there. So what I'll do is I'll put under materials on our Classroom, I'll link it there.
And Devin just brought up a good point too, that we could always just bookmark it on our computer.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So it'll be right there, a click of a button.
Can you show them how to bookmark it, Mrs. Vivari, since your screen is shared?
Sure. So if I want to go to the library's homepage, which I already have bookmarked right here, if you click that little star, it will bookmark that tab, which is the library's homepage. You tell it where you want it. If you want it right on that bar under your search bar, you leave it on bookmarks bar.
Go up.
I think we should all do that, boys and girls.
Yes, agreed.
You're gonna go, oh, you're doing it right now?
And hit done.
So,
Different options.
okay, so Mrs. Vivari is going to show us if we would like to get a book from the library and take it out. You can't just go to the library and get the book. You have to let Mrs. Vivari know which book you want by following these directions.
Okay. So again, you're going to start on the library's webpage, which you bookmarked. So it's easy to get to. And it's right here where you can search Destiny. You can log in and this tells you what your username and password are. So your username is first name dot last name and 2 digits, which are the last 2 years of your graduation. So for most of you, that'll be a 24. And then your password is your student ID number. And that will come into play later. So I'm going to look for, let's look for Catching Fire again.
You have to know the book you wanted.
So Catching Fire says that it's in. And if I click on it, it'll ask me to log in for all the features. So I'm going to log in real quick.
So is their username and password their email or?
Okay, so their username.
Oh, it's already
right on
there.
that
Okay,
homepage.
same thing. Got it. Okay.
And then their password is their student ID number. So if I were a student in the class of 2023, my name would be patricia.vivari23. And then my student ID number would be my password.
Got it.
So because I'm now logged in, I have the option to make it a favorite or review it, or I can put it on hold. If you hit that hold button, it says it's available now, but what that does for me is when I log in to like my librarian part of Destiny, I can see that there's a hold for this book and I need to pull it off the shelf and it needs to be available for a particular student. So I can check it out to the student, have it right in here, and they can get a pass and come down and pick it up. And then there's a book return right in the front of the library desk. So hitting that hold button, if you don't know how to log in or you just don't feel like logging in and you find a book that's in Destiny that you want to take out from our library, you can also email me with what book you want.
Okay. And your email is Vivari P.
Nope, I am P. Vivari.
Oh, P Vivari at lincolnps.org.
That is correct.